It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears up!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? EarzUp Podcasts. We are here today. We're talking Disney news. We're talking a little Disney history. It's going to be a good time. No, scratch that. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be a great time, Eric, whether you want it to be or not.
We're forcing you to have a great time.
yeah. That's exactly right. We're forcing you to do things.
That's what you get on this show.
That's right.
Mandatory
Forced fun. Yes, exactly. You know, people talk about a fascist state. This is exactly what they mean, is forced fun. You have to. This is the fun camps. You have to have fun. You're here for the summer. You might as well, your parents dropped you off. You might as well make a new friend, Something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Today on the show, Eric is going to talk to us about a window. I don't even know. I like to be surprised by the topics, I like to be surprised by what Eric has to say. And then we're going to do a bunch of Disney news. And like I was saying on the last show, there's a ton of Disney news. There's a lot happening. So I think it'd be, we're just going to do a longer than normal Disney news segment. And that's the show, just kind of hanging out, chit-chatting a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm excited about it.
Me too.
Just open my water.
That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to say something, whatever it is, just to,
right.
Say it, right? Taryn's going to be joining us a little bit later. She's putting Alice to bed, but man, she's been having like a throat. She might not even show up. I don't even know, but she has like this, she's like an infection in her throat.
Ooh. Taryn?
Yeah. Taryn, where she was like, she was kind of feeling sick, but she was like, it was hard to talk and her throat was hurting her. And I was like, here, have the, there's like, we have that Sucrets, the throat spray to like numb your throat. Yeah. And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, what about these cough drops that have like a soothing medicine inside, like in the middle, it's like a gusher.
Oh, the goo. Yeah.
Yeah. The goo. And I was like, they don't taste good, but they help with the throat, and she's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, what about like ibuprofen for the pain at least? Because I know when you sneeze or when you yawn, it hurts. No. Okay.
Hot tea?
How about
warm
a joint?
Tea?
Like, what do you want to do? I can go get you CBD gummy. I go do whatever. Well, that's the thing. Like drinking anything would hurt. Like swallowing hurt. So she didn't want to drink anything.
Oh gosh.
And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay. I can't. There are things to do to help you, the soothe the pain, and you're not doing them. So my personality is such where I go, I cease to care. Not that I don't care, but like I cease to worry. It's like, okay, you're on your own path, doing your thing. I can only do so much. And then like the next day, she did all of the things I suggested in the first place. I'm like, yeah, I'm a genius. You know what I mean? We have throat pain medicine. Why aren't you using it?
It's amazing the medical technology that we've got in this world.
I know. Space age technology, folks. My wife doesn't use it.
Apparently she eventually did.
She eventually did, yeah. But apparently the throat spray didn't work. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't taste good, but I like the way it tastes. Like the medicine taste, I kind of, I don't know, especially cough medicine.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that too. The spray is kind of tough, though. I always feel like the pain is just a little bit too far below. Like I can't really, I have to like jam it in my mouth.
Yeah, dude,
spray.
Absolutely. Yeah, you like never get it right on.
Right. So it's like the lozenges.
Yeah, the area around the pain is numb. That's fun.
Now your tongue is numb. You can't talk well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, So anyway, that's what the big update. And it was disappointing because my uncle was in town. My uncle he lives up in Seattle.
Oh.
And, he was like on this big epic road trip through like the Southwest or whatever. He's like, all right, I'm coming through. We're going to hang out. I'm like, yeah, dude, that'll be great. We'll hit some golf balls or do whatever. And then like the day before all this happens, like, yeah, man, it's probably not going to be a good idea for you. I'm like, I'll happily meet you somewhere, but I'm kind of feeling funky. And he goes, that's all right. I probably shouldn't see you guys anyway. I didn't bring my COVID tests and I've been around a couple people who have been sick. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
man. He goes,
he's honest.
Yeah. That's what I appreciate about him. I was like, all right, Jeffy, we'll see you later, man. Peace. But I felt bad because he got a hotel room in town for like Tuesday night. He was in town, but knowing him, he probably just drove, on.
Okay. Yeah. So not making doesn't have to make the stop to see
I guess not. Yeah.
Change the plans a little bit.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Well, and if you're like my Uncle Jeff and you like changing plans, the people at Concy Ears can help you do that. I'm going to go on a limb and say this is probably true. But if you do need help rescheduling, I almost said rechanging, but that would be silly. Rescheduling a trip, I know firsthand they are great at it. Jimmy was my personal concierge for both attempts. One failed and one accomplished. And it was easy to just, change the trip and you can move it forward and, however many months you need. And if for some reason you can't go, you can get a refund on it too. So they are really, really great about helping you navigate that system of changing your plans if you want to, if you have to, if something unforeseen comes up or whatever. And then while you're at the parks, if you want to have lunch or if you don't want to have lunch or, you want to do all the ancillary stuff other than just attractions at the parks, you know what I mean? They can help you do all that too. So check them out, concierge.com, and all that help that you get while you're parkside or before, it's all free of charge. It's all stuff that Disney does not do themselves. And so they have concierge come in and help them out because they are the Disney parks experts. So check them out, concierge.com. Tell them we sent you.
Woo. And then Jimmy will call you or somebody will call you.
Somebody will call you.
One of my favorite things so I convinced one of my friends to use concierge because she was asking, well, how does the company get paid? And I said, Disney pays. So wait. You do all this work and Disney pays you, and do I pay less? I'm like, no, generally you're going to pay the same amount if you did it yourself, but you don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And she said, so you're telling me that Disney gets slightly less of my money and some other person does get it? I'm like, yeah, I'm sold.
That is kind of like if you are a cynical, jaded Disney parks fan like myself, just book through concierge. Even if you can do everything, just book through concierge anyways.
Yeah.
Disney gets slightly less of your money. You support a small family run business and it's a win-win for everybody.
There you go. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, that is a thing. Like you can book right through them and you don't have to use any of the service. It's all optional. You know what I mean? Right. So you can just buy your tickets and have them reserve your hotel. That's it. Like you don't need to do all this stuff. Right. But if you want it, it's there. It's there for you.
What a deal.
There from us. I know, right? All right. Well, you know what? Before we get to the show, I guess I can do updates later. I'm already in it, so might as well do some updates.
Why not?
I've been talking about the Buena Vista Boys coming back. And we were going to be recording a show this Saturday, but we had to push that off to a little bit deeper into next month, May, sometime in the middle of May. I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. But Matt and I, my lovely co-host, we couldn't really just nail down that final date. So, tish pshaw phooey. But that will be happening on Saturday. Yeah, for everyone's been saying that for years, dude. Classic stuff. And then on Sunday, however, if you're going to be around and you want to be, you want to be cool like me, Liverpool are going to be playing in their Premier League game where all they need is a tie and then they win their Premier League championship, everybody. Our 20th trophy. I'm very excited about it. It will be going down. I don't know when, actually. Let me look at the time. That's what I'm going to be doing. And, I'm probably not going to be live streaming it, obviously, because I can't. But I'm going to be watching it for sure, brother. 8:30 against Tottenham Hotspur. You can watch that on Peacock. And all we need is 1 point. So we just need a tie. Man. If we lose this game, we can't. But we're going to be at home. We're going to win the trophy. Things are going to go nuts. People are going to have flares. It's going to be great. If you want to get into Premier League soccer, which why wouldn't you? This is the match to watch, man. This is going to be an amazing match. And then the absolute nuttery that's going to be happening afterward. Crazy. I can't wait for it. I'm very excited about it.
Well, it sounds very exciting. I wish I cared that much about a sport these days.
You should. Pour yourself into it. You know what I mean?
All of my favorite teams are terrible at sports.
This is why. See, you got to have one. You got to have one team that's good at something. Like, that's what got me out of hockey, is like the Sharks were just not San Jose Sharks. They can't do anything. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. I'm like, okay, great. And then I don't care about anything else. And then I got into soccer. And I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good.
Well, the last time San Jose was good at hockey was when the Hawks were good, the Blackhawks were good at hockey, and they somehow met up in the playoffs every year. Yeah,
for a while. Yeah.
Meaning I'd have to be up until 1 a.m. watching hockey when they were on the West Coast.
And then our last bit of news, our friend Thomas is getting married today, everybody. So I'm doing a quick shout out to Thomas. He's in Australia, our nice Australian listener. He won't be getting married until 12 o'clock midnight Pacific time, which is like 5 o'clock, Australian. And I told him, I was like, brother, I can't stay up for that, because they're like live streaming it for their friends and family around the world who can't make it. And I'm like, if I can stay up, I will jump in and say hi. But otherwise, I'm probably going to miss it. So big shouts out to Thomas. We were chatting a little bit earlier in the chat room when I came on early to get some news done and play games. And he was nervous. He's like nervous, excited, all the standard wedding stuff. And I tried to give him some advice. I go, look, if you have like a wedding planner or wedding photographer or whatever, you're going to have a schedule. Don't worry about it. They're going to bully you into being on time for dumb stuff. Don't worry about it. Take moments. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. It's your day.
Yeah. Try to remember your day.
Yes, exactly. For me, I was nervous and freaked out and anxious. And so I was like, off my head on a like an anxiety pill, and then Sully came in with his 19-ounce cans of toaster pastry red IPA, and I was like, not that I don't remember my wedding, but like, it definitely made it easier to be like, oh, whatever, and then you don't really take the moments because you're not in the moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a blur as you're moving from thing to thing, and yeah, I get it. Yeah, it was the same for me, pretty much.
Yeah, happens, man. All right, Eric, that's enough. That's all the announcements I have for you. So why don't you go ahead? Let's do a little bit of window action, huh? Let's clean some windows.
Yeah, been a bit since we did a window. So today I would like to talk about Reni Bardeau, the man who shot Walt Disney.
Okay. Damn. See, I thought Walt died of cancer, but apparently he died in a duel in Frontierland.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it was in Tomorrowland.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
Reni was let's see. Well, I'll just bury the lead here. Reni was a photographer. There we go.
Oh,
Don't worry about Walt. He was fine.
Yeah. We're reading Inside the Magic headlines today, folks.
Right.
This man shot at Walt Disney 150,000 times and never got caught.
That's pretty much true. Yeah. Well, let's see. Reni was born in 1934 in Tucson, Arizona. I can't find a whole lot about his early life, although he started classes at the University of Arizona and then enlisted in the Navy during the Korean War.
Yeah, nice.
He was a petty officer and became an aviation photographer's mate. So that's where he learned about photography. Was working with, helping out with this aviation photographer. I don't know what an aviation photographer is. Perhaps they take pictures of the ground from the air. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Because they could be maybe in like the press corps, because they do have the press, or they did have press embedded.
Yeah. I don't know. It who knows? But he learned how to be a photographer. And once the war was over, he went to L.A. in 1959 and he got a tip from one of his high school teachers. So 25 years old, he went to L.A. to work for the Los Angeles Herald Examiner newspaper. But by the time he got there, the position had already been filled. I mean, imagine a time when somebody's like, there's a job. You have to move from Arizona to LA. 7 weeks later, they're like, yeah, we filled that position. It's fine.
Yeah.
But somebody at the paper said, hey, Disneyland is hiring photographers to work with their chief photographer, Charlie Nichols. So somehow, maybe because of the Korean War, I don't know, Reni knew nothing about Disneyland. So he drove down south, but he got the job, and he was mostly working in the dark room in the park for the first summer that he worked there. So he was part-time help. He worked the summers. Then he'd go back to school in Tucson and continue. He was getting a degree in marketing.
I like that they had a dark room on campus.
Yeah,
Like
and that was interesting.
On premise.
Yeah, something I didn't know is that when they were doing black and white photography, they used an on-site darkroom. When they got to color processing, it was a little bit too expensive to maintain the darkroom, so they still did black and white, but anything color they sent out to a lab.
Sure. Yeah.
Just, more efficient that way. One of his first assignments as a photographer was to take publicity photos of Walt and Nixon, then Vice President Nixon, on the new monorail. And he did great. So he kept working summers until 1963 when he graduated from the University of Arizona. He got his degree in marketing. Reni never intended to stay at Disneyland. He wanted to get into marketing. He wanted to, work for the papers, and he ended up getting offered once he graduated. He went back, and they offered him a full-time job to be in their photography corps.
Hell yeah.
And so he just kind of stuck around. Like so many people at Disneyland, he stuck around and ended up working there for quite some time.
Right.
So most of his assignments were to be present for celebrities. So he was shooting press photos, something to, say, look who came to the park. It's Jack Benny, everybody.
Yeah.
And when he wasn't assigned something, he basically wandered around the park and took shots of rides and guests and just built up a lot of, B-roll sort of stuff where, hey, we can put this into the pictorial souvenir guide, or we can send this one out to the LA Times when they want to see something about the teacups.
Yeah.
So, he just kept doing that, taking pictures all the time, filling up rolls. And in 1968, Charlie Nichols retired, and Reni took over as chief photographer.
All right. 1968.
68.
Right.
Yeah. So 5 years later, during that 5-year time span, he spent a lot of, basically he and Charlie would walk around. Charlie started taking color photos, and Reni would take the black and white photos. So they basically just had a bunch of cameras around their necks and a bunch of film. And one of the most iconic pictures ever taken of Walt Disney, if you can imagine, if you can picture this one for yourself, I did send you this one as well. It's called Footsteps. It's that black and white image from far away of Walt walking through Sleeping Beauty Castle and looking off to the side. Mm-hmm. It's before the park opens. It's wet. They had just kind of washed down the walkways and everything. And this is one of those photos that I'm sure everybody has seen it. You probably own something with that picture on it.
Yeah, for sure.
And this shot almost didn't take place. It was just a quick thing. So this is 1964. Long before Charlie. Well, I guess 4 years. That's not that long before Charlie retired. They're walking through the park. Charlie took a bunch of color photos because they just saw Walt walking through. They had been taking some images of the park without people around, and as luck would have it, the image that really captured everything was Reni's black and white photo. Those color photos, I'm sure they were fine. I'm sure they still have them somewhere, but it's that one black and white photo that just perfectly encapsulated Walt inspecting his park early in the morning before anybody else was there. And it's just one of those enduring shots, and it was just a quick thing.
Some of the best pictures are, you know what I mean? Very rarely, I think, are you going to get super impactful posed photo.
Yeah, and I'm sure I know he took plenty of posed photos, but you know, who knows if Walt even realized they were taking pictures of him.
Yeah, probably, but, you know, also I think a good photographer blends in to the background a little bit. And, you know, once the subject gets comfortable, it sounds like these people were following him around all day, every day anyway. So they probably just blended in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, best photos have movement. You know, there's some degree of it's a still photo of a movie,
right?
You know, you're not just standing still or smile, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Walt's instructions to Reni were basically make my park the subject of every photo.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what he was doing, I mean, that image of Walt and Nixon. Mm-hmm. You see just as much of the Matterhorn, like the way it's framed. Yeah, you've got two important men standing in the middle, but it's just as important to see the sky buckets going through.
Yeah,
through the Matterhorn. Like he didn't cut off the top of the Matterhorn to get a closer shot of Nixon.
It's back. Not. Yeah, right. It's cropped for the park. It's not cropped for them. Because if you were just taking a picture of these two dinguses, it wouldn't be as great of a photo if you just tightened it up a little bit, you know, from that angle. So yeah, you get the Matterhorn back there, the Skyway buckets on either side. You can kind of actually see through the Matterhorn, through the Skyway tunnel or whatever behind Nixon. And, and again, but that's the thing. There's movement in the sky buckets. There's movement in the men. Walt is right in the middle, it looks like, of putting his hands on his hips. Nixon's gesturing a little bit.
Right.
Looks like he's going to wind up and punch Walt in the gut. And there you go. That's it.
Well, as I recall, this is just before Walt kidnapped Richard Nixon. If you remember that story, they were christening the monorail, and he got Nixon onto the monorail, and they took off before the Secret Service could get on board.
Oh yeah, that's right. Huh?
Yeah, so he caught so many different celebrities. Reni did during his time working at the park, and some really weird, like there's a picture. One of the ones that I sent you is RFK and John Glenn with their kids on the Matterhorn. This is one day before RFK was assassinated.
Oof!
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's a historic photo.
Yeah, it's one of the last pictures of RFK. Like all of these things are. He's taking so many pictures. He captured so many iconic moments, so many celebrities over the years. There are tons of pictures of him. There's a great OC Register article that is just a photo gallery. It was it was after he retired, and they posted all these pictures. So it's like Jim Carrey with Mickey, and Jay Leno with Minnie. Just all these Mickey and Minnie with Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Just all of these celebrities. That's what he was there for. And he continued that. But then he also took these so many pictures. It's Walt with a bunch of kids. And they're just kind of hanging around in front of the castle. Who knows what the event was, but it was so many of them were Walt, so many of them were just regular people enjoying the parks. And that's what Walt wanted. He wanted him to highlight his park.
Yeah.
Let's see. So one of these images. So one of the last pictures ever taken of Walt Disney in the park is one I didn't send you because I guess I forgot. It's another one that you've all seen. It's a color photo. It's Walt driving the fire truck. With Mickey next to him in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's having a great time. And it's one of Bardeau's favorite pictures of Walt that he ever took. And it happened to be the last one. So he's shooting. He tells the story that he was shooting the basically this little photo up with a Rolleiflex, which has 12 images on a roll, and he had done 11 images of Walt and Mickey from different angles, and he's trying to make sure that Walt has the right smile. He's trying to make sure that Mickey was looking in the right direction. making sure that Mickey's framed properly, because he said there were a few times where he thought like the spires of the castle looked like they were coming out of his ears. And he's trying to get the right thing. He felt like he got it after 11 shots.
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, Walt, that's good." And Walt said, "You know what? How much film do you have left?" He said, "I have one more shot." And Walt's like, "Take one more." And that last one was the shot.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
I sort of feel like this guy has like the camera of doom. Like,
yeah, there's at least 4 Twilight Zone episodes written about it.
yeah.
Most people he took pictures of didn't die immediately.
Well, that's good.
But
That's good.
they all did eventually. I mean, Nixon, you know what I mean? Like, there's the things.
Yeah,
John
right.
Glenn, it just, it happens, man.
He was cursed with mortality after that.
That's right.
So Bardeau worked at the parks for decades. He sometimes had to resort to trickery, a little bit of darkroom magic to get the right shot. For instance, taking pictures of fireworks. He would keep the same frame in there and take multiple exposures whenever the fireworks would go off, so that he could get more fireworks in the background, and he could have these additional layers of fireworks, because it's hard to just catch one explosion in the sky.
Mhm.
Sure.
And then he also wanted to get shots of Tinkerbell, flying down. And of course, Tinkerbell doesn't do that when the fireworks are going off, because that would be dangerous as all get out.
Yeah.
So he took a picture of Tinkerbell flying, cut it out, and then pasted it onto one of the exposures.
The original Photoshop.
See, I feel like it's lying. That's
Right.
just lying. He's a liar.
Well, yeah, and he admitted that like it was trickery on his part to get to get these shots. But then he also had these spontaneous things, like that picture of Walt. So eventually, Bardeau retired in 1998, nearly 40 years with Disneyland. He was just a few months short of 40 years with Disneyland itself. He had a family. He divorced his wife while he was working, but he ended up getting in touch with his high school sweetheart after he retired.
There we go.
And married her.
There we go.
He moved back to Arizona and then quickly moved back to Glendale. He always contributed to the University of Arizona Hispanic Association that gave scholarships to needy kids going to school.
Okay. Love it.
After he retired, the company made him a thick photo album of his greatest shots. It was the pages were not gilded, because that means gold. What do you call it when it's silvered?
Laminated?
Silvered.
Oh.
So it was a very, very nice, like, hand-bound book of his best photographs.
Nice.
His window, since that's what this is all about, has written on it Kingdom Photo Services, Reni Bardeau, photographer, archivist. Because Walt always considered his primary role was to archive the park and its guests.
Yeah.
It was located above the photo shop at the end of Main Street.
Appropriate. I love that.
Of course. The photo shop is no longer there. It's now a Christmas shop. But the window remains, because you don't want to replace that.
Yeah.
Reni really, he created so many shots of Disneyland, so much of what we hold on to as people who revere this park, and how many other places is there almost no historical record of? He and his team created this enduring record for forever of this park and its people.
Yeah.
And just through the years, 40 years of taking pictures is incredible. That's the kind of legacy that he left. Unfortunately, Bardeau passed away in 2021 from renal failure and COVID-19 infection.
Jeez.
And very sadly, his daughter, Debbie, was saddened she could not visit him in his last days. We all remember how that went at the time.
Yeah. Damn, dude. That's too bad.
But yeah, he left such a legacy, and it's interesting because he's one of these people. he created so many iconic images, and most people have no idea who he is.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's not a name you generally hear unless you're looking into this sort of thing. How many people probably met him and had their picture taken by him over the years?
Oh, yeah.
And not just the celebrities where he was hired to take pictures of them and they knew who he was. He told one story about one day when James Garner, he was following James Garner around. And after like a couple hours of taking pictures of Garner around the park, he said, "Hey, come on, I want to buy you lunch." And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm on the clock. I got to get back to work." And James Garner called his boss and said, "I'm taking Bardeau out to lunch.
Wow.
You'll get him back later."
That's nice, dude.
So
James Garner seemed like that kind of guy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, I always like a James Garner movie, James Garner show.
So some people knew who he was, the people that he interacted with a little bit more, and certainly the people, the cast members and Walt and everybody knew who he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many other people just don't realize there was a dude walking around probably with 3 cameras around his neck taking pictures.
Wow.
For 40 years.
Yeah, for
Love
40 years.
That's awesome.
That's Reni Bardeau.
Cool.
All right. Excellent.
Also, really cool name, honestly.
Reni.
Yeah, that's a neat name.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to go through the Disney News slog. What do you think of that? Got a lot to talk about. So hang on, everyone. It's Ears Up. We'll be right back.
Back to Ears Up, where the opinions never stop. Ever.
All right. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. There she goes. How's it feeling, Taryn?
It's not as good as it was earlier today. I think the singing and the story reading and I don't think any of that helped, but it's not nearly as bad as it has been the last few days. So
well, that's good.
Yeah,
I appreciate
definitely
that.
on the mend.
Yeah. Well, I love that for us.
Yeah.
What else I love is summer is here, everybody, basically. And the 21st Amendment Brewery has the perfect lineup to keep you cool and refreshed. Hell or High Watermelon, the ultimate summer classic. Brewed with real watermelon juice. It's crispy, juicy. I don't know. This is getting because it's not crispy, it's crisp. But then I read juicy, and then I thought, well, wait a minute. Why did I say crispy? How's that going to sound? And then whatever.
So I love a good crispy wheat beer.
But then I go, well, it's not crispy, it's crisp. Crispy doesn't make sense. And I go, but it does in like a beer tasting thing. And I got spun out in my head.
we all saw the wheels turning.
Yeah. It's crisp, juicy, and ready for sun-soaked adventures. There's also El Sully Lime, the award-winning Mexican-style lager with a bright citrus twist. Smooth, refreshing, and made for warm days and cool nights. And to celebrate 25 years of brewing freedom, we bring you, of course, I mean, the 21st Amendment brings you the 25th Anniversary IPA, which is a bold West Coast IPA packed with classic and modern hops, bursting with pine, citrus, and a touch of tropical fruit. Basically everything you want in a classic modern IPA. So whether you're cooking back on the beach, firing up the grill, or just raising a toast to summer, they've got the perfect brew for the moment. And I'm just going to throw in there, sorry, Sully, the 21st Amendment lager, everybody.
Oh,
That's constantly in our fridge. So, there's look, if you're looking for good craft beer, there's no shortage from the 21st Amendment. So if you're in the Bay Area, come out and check out their location in San Francisco or San Leandro. Please, you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Amazing.
Okay, let me open this window and then find this sound bite. Oh
my gosh, I was just in there, the lights were low.
No, that's not it. Did I miss it? Yeah, it's right over here, you dummy.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
All right, the first one we're going to rip off of the Walt Disney Company blog, and it starts off saying, Disney auctioning animation artifacts to support LA fire relief. Not that this was a good story to cover, because if you're looking for, these kind of little treasure troves, little artifacts from Disney animation history. This is going to be a good thing, and it's supporting LA Fire Relief. So, Lord knows they need it. Man, reading a lot of these stories about kind of the toxic soot and all that kind of nonsense and nastiness, all the mud that's been washing down onto the beaches of LA since the fires. It's brutal, man.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people forget that there's so much aftermath after these giant fires.
Yeah.
Because you stop hearing about it. You hear there's this giant fire and then you don't hear about it ever again. And there's so much more to it. It's really sad.
Yeah, and also like just you hear that, they're controlling the fires, they're containing it. Well, the way they contain it is they dump the fire retardant on the land beforehand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's toxic. It's not good.
It's going to get in the air.
Yeah.
It's already in the air.
Yeah, but it hits the ground, and then we had those rains, and then so it soaks into the ground and pollutes the ground, and then it all rushes down to the beach, and then it's not good. It's just a whole thing of not good.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's kind of all we can do to fight fires. So I don't know. But anyway, as part of the Walt Disney Company's ongoing commitment to help its hometown of Los Angeles recover from the devastating wildfires in January 2025, Disney is participating in the Sotheby's Animade, A-N-I-M-A-I-D, Animade. That is not cool. The Art of Animation online auction. The auction will offer a treasure trove of rare and one-of-a-kind pieces of animation history, with proceeds benefiting local animators and their families who have been affected by the fires. There will be historical offerings from the company's vast animation libraries that go back over a century, along with new original pieces from world-class animators like Pete Docter, Pixar's chief creative officer. The auction takes place from April 23rd. Oh, it's going right now through the 30th. Oh my God, I better get this up. We got 5 days left. Other participating studios include Warner Brothers, DreamWorks Animation, Sony Pictures Animation, and Paramount. According to Fox Carney, researcher at the Walt Disney Animation Research Library, the question in the animation community in the wake of the fires quickly became, what can our community do for each other? I'm waiting to see what is in it. I get it. I love it. And, love the community, but let's just talk about this stuff. There's everything from new character statues signed by the directors of Disney Animation's Frozen 2 to original character designs and storyboards from series like Disney's Darkwing Duck and Kim Possible. That's neat, man.
Yeah. Darkwing
Very
Duck would be cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm on the webpage. Let me see if I can pull it up for a second. We can just be cool.
Oh no, he just bought a cell from Steamboat Willie for $2 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
that check's not going to clear.
Alert. That's why the Lord invented credit cards, Do not share. You know what I don't like? I hate that we have to tell them not to sell our information when we go to websites. Shouldn't that just be a normal part of doing business? Yeah, the default should be, I'm not going to sell your information. But it's just annoying. Anyway, it's taking place in New York. I'm assuming that you can bid online. So we have the first thing here. Here's to You, Mickey Mouse. Original hand-painted animation cell from 1988 television special. Here's to You, Mickey Mouse. Current bid, $700. There's a cell from The Simpsons of Krusty the Clown from season 10, which was 1998, by the way. Let's just remember.
Wow.
Let's remember how old The Simpsons are, please. That current bid is $1,100.
Wow.
So this animation cell of Krusty the Clown is going for more than the Mickey Mouse one, which I just love.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah. Who Framed Roger Rabbit animation cell, $1,300.
Dang.
A Tex Avery production used animation cell from Tex Avery's Red Hot Riding Hood in 1943, $700. That's wild, dude.
That's cute, though.
Yeah, it is, man. Original thumbnail drawings from Beauty and the Beast, 1991. Those are going for $400. I mean, yeah, they're just kind of blue blobs. They're not really, they're general shapes.
Oh, yeah.
So I could, that's fair. Lucasfilm, a VIP tour of Lucasfilm, $1,600.
Ooh.
Wow, pricey.
Okay, not bad. I mean, that's like that's where you want to go. As much as like Pixar is, Lucasfilm is like the tippy top. Let's see, Tron. There's a set of 2 Xerox copies of Codaliths created for Tron. I don't know what that current bid $1.
Oh, sad.
Current bid $1. Xerox copy of I don't even know what it is.
Looks kind of cool though.
Yeah.
I think that was part of the process to get all the glowy stuff when they were in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ralph Bakshi.
I don't even know what that means.
That's an animator. He did the old Lord of the Rings animated movies.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see. There's a original production used color model for Webby from DuckTales, circa 1987, $100. So look, man, you can get away. There's 3 bids, $100, and the estimate for that's $2,500 to $5,000. You could get away with owning some cool stuff, man, and
oh, she's so cute.
And going, doing some good.
What is that? What's that one? I can't read it, but
this?
Yeah.
It's the Ladies of Animation original poster from the Ladies of Animation Gallery show at GR Works, circa 2013. It's very funky, very it looks like Japanese inspired.
Yeah, I just really like that kind of art. That looks cool.
Yeah, bid is $100, Taryn. Should I just bid on it for you? Or
no.
What's going on, man? Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff here. Actually, what is this? The gummy bears. You can get a set of 6 original production used color models from Adventures of Gummy Bears, $300. Damn, dude, I love that.
Now that song's stuck in my head.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. You can't, you can filter, you can search and everything like that. So whatever. Anyway, check it out. Sotheby's.com. Just look up Animade, the art of animation, and you'll figure it out. This is my problem. I kind of want to just sit here and be a knucklehead.
Keep scrolling.
Yeah. Just be like, what else do they got? What else do they got? This is an easier view. Maybe there's something like really cool that nobody has bid on yet. That's my fantasy whenever I see an online auction. It's like, maybe nobody dug this deep into the, into the web page, and I'm going to pull out the gem because I'm cool and nobody else is as cool as me.
Well, the Tron one's pretty close to the top, so.
Well, that's how it goes, man.
It's only $1.
Yeah.
For a Xerox copy.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's what it, yeah. It's like, I guess it was Xeroxed in 1981 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
But it sounds like you're getting a piece of paper.
Here's to say they don't just run it. Oh, you get a 1 sheet. It's only 4 pages, so it's not that much. A Frankenweenie pitch illustration from Frankenweenie, $200. Dude, there's some cool stuff here, man. Love it. Anyway, that's what's happening, everybody. They're the gummy bears.
Well, that seems fun. I mean, and for a good cause, which is also always nice.
Yeah, man. I love a good cause. Okay, first look at 4 new Star Wars destinations on Disney's Millennium Falcon ride. This will be cool. I'm still not going to ride it, but I'll watch I'll watch people's video. You know what I mean? Smuggler's Run will let the crew decide which Star Wars planets to visit when the rebooted Disneyland ride embarks on a journey to 4 new destinations with the Mandalorian and Grogu. The refreshed Smuggler's Run ride in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will visit Tatooine, Endor, Bespin, and Coruscant when the updated attraction debuts on May 22nd, 2026 at the Anaheim theme park. In this new thrilling storyline, Hondo Onaka. There you go. Oh, not gonna say it right. Hondo Ohnaka has gotten wind of a deal going down on Tatooine between ex-Imperial officers and a band of pirates, according to Walt Disney Imagineering. There's a generous bounty for their capture, so you'll borrow the iconic ship and team up with Mando and Grogu to track them down and explore the galaxy. Seems a little loose to me, but that's all right. Riders flying the Millennium Falcon from Batuu to Tatooine will get to choose their own adventure and select from 3 possible destinations. The engineers sitting in the rear 2 seats of the 6-seat cockpit, aka the things that nobody does, they just push a button every now and then, will be able to communicate with Grogu. Is it really?
Yeah.
Because you don't do anything. Have you ever piloted this stupid thing?
I have piloted on both sides. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, well.
And I usually do single rider, and that it's almost a guarantee you'll be engineer.
Of course. Yeah. So the 2 engineers can communicate with Grogu during the mission, which, by the way, what does Grogu do? He just goes, yeah. And that's it. Come on now. Concept art of the new adventure aboard Smuggler's Run released, blah, 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 shows a sand crawler on the desert planet of Tatooine, the bustling skyways of Coruscant, and the Death Star disintegrating in orbit near the Endor moon. That's fresh, dude. I love that. I love the the few Star Wars things they've done where it's like after the big wars, after the big movies, right? All the derelict spaceships. I love the idea of a Death Star exploded just orbiting a moon. That's so awesome. Like that in The Last Jedi, that was the biggest impact of that whole movie, is seeing those giant the Star Destroyers just in the sand. I loved it. I thought it was great. Like I love that. I love the post,
like the war aftermath.
Yeah.
Rey's living in an old AT-AT.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen, everybody. It's going to be great. Star Wars Galactic Calendar marks time on either side of the attack of the Death Star, blah, 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 blah. The new mission is tied to the release of the Mandalorian and Grogu film, of course, because that's coming out Memorial Day weekend, 2026. So anyway, check that out. That's going to be cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. I like it. And I think there was some question about whether or not they're going to do stuff like that, like they did with Star Tours. And apparently they are. So that's awesome. This is a weird story. Popular Disneyland races to take indefinite hiatus.
What?
So they're doing it again.
I guess. Yeah. And here's this is the picture they're using. I don't know. It's from this picture of 2 runners from 2014.
Races.
You thought something else. You thought the woke mob mind virus.
I heard you say racists. And I was like, what?
Those Disneyland racists are going to take a break for a few years.
Yeah, we've won, everybody.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, the resistance is won, folks. I love it very much. Yeah, I might have actually said that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Due to the upcoming construction impacts, Run Disney races at the Disneyland Resort will be placed on hiatus in 2026 after the conclusion of the 2026 Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend presented by Honda, Disney announced in a statement on the Run Disney website. The Half Marathon event is slated to take place January 29th through February 1st, 2026. Before that, a Halloween Half Marathon is scheduled for September 4th through 7th, 2025. Run Disney races in Anaheim go through the city, Disneyland, and Disney California Adventure, with many participants running in Disney-themed costumes. We all know that. So anyway, they're basically going to be putting on a hiatus because of all the construction. There you go. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it'll come back.
Yeah.
So if you want to do races, if you want to be races in Disneyland, go ahead and
wait.
Well, no, go ahead and do it now.
Oh, do it now.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think our friend Charlie signed up for a marathon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would do one. Like now that I actually know how to run, I would totally do it. It would be fun.
I don't know about that. Here we go. Here's some Disney World advice for everybody. Not advice, but news. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, Thomas. We're talking about racists now, Thomas, a couple hours until he gets married, everybody.
Yeah. Happy wedding, Thomas.
Yeah. Disney World unveils a perk to allow kids to eat free at the resorts. Walt Disney World is implementing a new perk that will allow kids to eat free. Yep, I just said that. Guests staying at any Disney Resorts collection hotels will receive a free dining plan for their kids ages 3 to 9 when purchasing a dining plan as part of their package for the other members of their family. Now, Eric, I must ask, what in God's green earth is a Disney Resorts collection hotel? Is it like just everything on campus? Why didn't they just say that?
It's kind of weird.
It is, right? It's like, we've amassed several hotels in our collection. Like, just say anything on any Disney resort on the property.
Because it makes it sound like there's like a hierarchy of hotels, which there is, but like, whatever. Weird.
Yeah. But like, what are the others called if they're not collection? Like, it's just the whole thing is weird, but that's all right. Guests can also combine the kids' free dining plan with other select special offers, whatever that means. The offer will be available throughout all of 2026. Wow, that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely trying to get people,
especially because kids don't eat anything. Like, they pretend to, and they do a little bit, but they don't ever eat $25 worth of a plate.
No.
Maybe that's why it's free.
Yeah, because it's like they're not even like losing any money on that one.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you're paying $18 for a hamburger. Half the bun will be missing, and then it'll just go in the garbage.
Yeah.
You guys remember, we've talked about it a little bit before, but I don't think we've talked about the conclusion of it. The former Disney cast member who was hacking into park menus and changing the allergen information.
Yeah.
Well, finally, we have conclusion of it. He has been sentenced in a court. Michael Schuer, 40. This man is 40 years old, and he apparently he didn't know better to do this. He falsified food listings to indicate some items were safe from allergies when they were not. A disgruntled former Disney employee was sentenced to 3 years in prison for hacking into a menu creating system. I don't think he hacked. I think he just used a password.
Yeah, probably.
Because he worked there.
Because he worked there, and he just like went home.
Yeah, they're giving him a little too much credit.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't they fine him too?
I think so.
Yeah. So they say later, after a contentious termination in June 2024 from his job as a menu production manager. I would love to be that. That sounds like the easiest job in the world. Prosecutors say Shower accessed the company's internal menu building system and modified. Yeah, that is a far cry from hacking. Accessing. I've accessed my car. Yeah. You hacked your car? No, right. I just got in it, dude.
I turned it on.
Yeah.
I've got the key.
Yeah. The government argued that Shower should be sentenced to 70 months for his crimes. He's grateful for the 36-month term. Shower will receive credit for the 6 months he's already spent in jail and hopes to be released after serving 85% of his total sentence. He's very remorseful and apologized to the victims during the hearing. But are there victims? Are there victims? Because
did anybody actually get hurt?
No, because they say the alterations were detected before they reached customers' hands. So there's no victim. The supervisor? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that feels a little dramatic. Like, he should still be in trouble.
He's eager to get back home to his wife and 3 young daughters. He was the sole earner in the family, as his wife has a number of medical issues and homeschools their children.
Well, he shouldn't have been so stupid.
He shouldn't have been stupid, but also, I'm sorry, dude. 3 years in prison for that is really stupid. That is give the man, time served and a house arrest on the weekends or something like that. Like, that is, especially when you're the sole earner for the family and you have your wife has a medical condition, you have 3 young kids, give the guy a break. If he's remorseful, if he does the impact statement, give the guy a break. Come on. That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if no one got...
It's egregious.
If nothing actually happened...
As far as I remember, nothing happened.
You would kind of think that he would just get fired and that would be sort of it. But I feel like something had to have happened to get 3 years in prison.
Yeah, right. But I don't know why they're not like... saying it. Yeah. But I seem to remember something happening too, but I think I'm confusing it with the lady... who died from like a shellfish allergy, and she made the cast member be super clear on there was nothing involved. There's no shellfish or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, sure. And then she died.
Yeah.
But I don't think those are related.
No.
Okay. Let's see. This is one. Let's see. No, I think Thomas actually told me about this, but there's not a whole lot to the story. One of the ferry boats in Disney World crashed into a dock.
Oh, that sucks.
What was that, Taryn?
That sucks.
Is that a word that you were going to say?
It sucks.
Before? Oh, okay. But it's from the UK Mirror, and it's just like it's such a weird. It's very tabloid. It was a day like no other in sunny Orlando, Florida, as holiday makers grabbed their morning coffee and Mickey Mouse ears to head into the Magic Kingdom theme park. However, some visitors left with more than just fun-filled memories of rides, snacks, and character meet and greets after an unexpected ferry boat collision. Guests to the Walt Disney World Park excitedly boarded the ferry around mid-morning, but it wasn't long before their smooth sail towards Magic was abruptly met with a sudden thud. Wham! In what should have been a routine and peaceful sail across the seven seas. Look at whatever, dude. It slammed into the dock and like someone fell into a garbage can or something like that. I don't know, man. That's all.
That's very dramatically written.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's very funny. Like, damn, that's crazy, dude. And then I'm like searching for the thing because I didn't see it in any of the other, news articles. But Tom was like, no, it's there. And so I found this article. Apparently, it's not the first time the ferry has crashed into the dock.
Oh, geez.
So this one was written last year, but I mentioned it because it's another Disney lawsuit. An overcrowded Magic Kingdom ferry boat crashed into the dock last year, so that would have been 2023. According to a new lawsuit filed by a Florida man who said he was hurt in the collision. Justin Tripp, which is a very funny last name, sued Disney for more than $50,000 in Orange Circuit Court and accused the theme park company of negligently running the ferry. I hope I said that word right. The crash, according to Tripp's lawsuit, occurred April 27, 2023, as the Richard F. Irvine ferry didn't slow down as it approached the dock at the Magic Kingdom. The lawsuit doesn't say how fast the boat was traveling.
It doesn't go that fast, let me tell you.
I know. Passengers weren't warned about the imminent collision, the lawsuit said. One passenger was knocked unconscious. Meanwhile, Tripp was thrown into a steel pillar where he hit his neck and head.
Jeez.
He eventually fell into a trash can, which prevented him from possibly being thrown overboard. So look at that.
This just sounds like
they saved him.
Yeah, this sounds like
it's a
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, it's a Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah.
The lawsuit said
Jim Carrey, he would have been flung all the way to the castle.
Now he can't make funny faces, Your Honor. And we're all a better version of humanity because of it. The lawsuit said Tripp, who stood in the stern area, was injured but did not go into greater details about the extent of his injuries. Well, then why not? Why not? You're suing. Anyway, it was so packed he was not able to sit down.
There's not a lot of places to sit down on those ferries.
Well,
if you actually took one when you were there, there are a few benches. It's mostly standing room.
Yeah, well, you know what? Then you've proved his point. Careful, he's going to call you as a witness. The Disney Destiny cruise line is going to have a Disney Hercules stage show. And they have like a concept drawing. It looks pretty cool. There's Cerebus and whatever.
I feel like people didn't even see the movie. Who's going to see the stage show?
I know. Didn't Alice start watching it, or has she seen it?
She
or
did
something
start
like that?
watching it, but she didn't get into it.
That's fair. I've never seen it. I should probably watch it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I saw it, but
It's been a long time since I saw that thing.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go. That's happening. And then last, we're going to round this version of news out by showing you this video. There's no audio of a naked man arrested at Disneyland.
Oh boy.
He was in New Orleans Square. So the title of this article is Man Arrested After Roaming Naked in Disneyland's New Orleans Square. I feel like he wasn't roaming so much as creating havoc.
Oh, yeah. He's like on top of the building.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. A man is in custody after trespassing at Disneyland and roaming around naked. The incident happened Saturday in the park's New Orleans Square. Workers tried to steer visitors away from the disturbing sight. Good luck. Fat friggin' chance, brother. I am standing there. I am causing a scene, pointing at that man's junk. That's all I'm doing. Exposing himself to the people. He's naked. He was arrested shortly after for trespassing, public nudity, and being under the influence of narcotics. No duh. ABC7 reached out to Disneyland for a statement, and they deferred to Anaheim police, who made the arrest. The agency said the man, who has not been identified, lives in Canada. Okay, they're not sending their best, folks. They are not sending their best.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
There were no reports of anyone being injured in the incident. No further details were immediately known. But I have since seen like another article saying that he was like, obviously like under drugs. I think they named it, but he was basically on top of like Tiana's restaurant or something like that.
Tiana's Palace.
Yeah, something like that. Let me see if I can find like a better article, because I couldn't really tell from the video.
He just, he was up in Club 33 and he got out on the balcony, took off his clothes and jumped onto the roof.
Yeah. I've had too many glasses of that 1992 Zinfandel from Ridge. I'm blasted.
Yeah.
He was on on top of the entrance of Tiana's place, which is the New Orleans inspired restaurant. And so in the video, he's like, holding on to like the shutters on the side of the building, right? And then he walks down like the canopy that like covers the dining area. So he's like walking on that thing with his hands up, like, walking around just completely butt ass naked.
Why naked? Like doing the thing is like weird enough.
He's having a psychological break, bro. Like you don't do that and are not on a mixture of chemicals.
Wow.
I think that's what happens when a Canadian comes into the US. Like we fried their brain so much that they're now not normal anymore.
That's probably.
A person on Reddit who was at the park shared that they also saw the man climb a tree.
I saw that Reddit because I was like, I remember this happening like in real time, like on Reddit, because people were like, oh my God, I'm at the park. I don't know what's happening, but they don't want us to look. But of course I'm looking.
Of course.
They're like, I'm not letting my kid look, but like it looks like a naked man. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?
At 10 p.m. on Saturday, Anaheim police officers were called to assist Disneyland security, who had a nude male detained inside the park near New Orleans Square. The man was 38 years old and a resident of Calgary, Alberta. The man was booked on suspicion of trespassing, public nudity, and being under the influence of narcotics.
Wow.
Great. Good for him.
Is there more, does he get more punishment because he's not from America?
I want to say he gets less. I don't know how that works.
I don't know either.
Yeah. I don't know how that works.
Didn't you have family that was like arrested in Greece?
Yes. Like, yeah, for fighting.
And they seem fine, so.
Well, yeah, but they were fighting like a small like village or whatever, a small beach area, and then they were released and told to leave before the angry mob of villagers literally beat them up. So, what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's my it's my family. That's my family.
Going back to their
everybody.
roots.
Yeah. Yep. Fighting on the beaches, infighting in the Greek city-states.
Okay.
That's the news, man.
Well, that's a good one to end on, honestly.
I think so too. He's got a naked man walking down the canvas covering. And imagine being underneath that thing trying to eat.
That'd be scary.
It's 10 p.m., so you're probably not really, there's probably not anybody there. But like,
yeah.
Go look at the video. Everywhere you see it, it's blurred out. So you're not seeing anything really. But like, go check it out. It's pretty goofy.
Yeah, that's one of those stories. You don't get those very often at Disneyland.
No, except 2 years ago, we got that man in
Small World, right?
Small World.
Yeah, but I don't know why, but that one seemed more tame.
Because he was sitting there.
Because he was just there, like in a ride, in a slow, weird ride. But this is like a guy on a roof. Like there was so much more in this one.
Yeah, he's too mobile in this one. In the other one, he was like more, much more reserved and.
Yeah, this guy was on the move and like
on the news.
There's like a wildness to it.
For he is waving his arms. Yeah, the other guy just hanging out, letting the fresh waters of the world cascade over his nether region.
Yeah.
I love that for him.
It's different.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you want any more information on all the shows that we offer, please go to our website, EarzUp-podcast.com. Be sure to hit up our Patreon page and subscribe for as little as $5 a month. You get access to the Secret Show and all the other great, wonderful shows that we have going on here on the Patreon EarzUp network, which we do need to do a Secret Show. I got a drink already.
Oh,
I think it'll be cool. That'll be next week. And yeah, that's about it. Before we go, I do want to say congratulations to Thomas and his lovely bride. Like I said, brother, we'll try to watch it, but I don't know. We can stay up that late. But have fun, and please, I don't know, let us know how it goes. But I don't know. I mean, it's a wedding. It's not. You're not invading Normandy. It's not.
No, it should be a great day.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And until next time, we will see you fully clothed at the parks.